over to you.
What's up, you Neanderthal crybabies out there? That's what we all
Neanderthal
are now.
crybabies.
Well, yeah, have you heard? Biden called us all the people who in the red states are a bunch of Neanderthal thinking individuals for stopping the lockdowns.
Oh yeah. We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to. Be free anymore in this country. I guess.
No. Actually, the double E discount, that only applies to the Democrats because they want free shit. That's it.
Yeah. I don't really sit well with that, just because I know, as someone who actually pays taxes, that shit ain't free, and the government can't give you anything that they don't steal from somebody else. Shocker.
Correct.
You want to smell this? Smells like your
At
mom.
At the threat of
Violence. Oh yeah, but that's not inciting violence or anything, right? Yeah.
No.
Never.
Silence is violence.
Yeah, don't you love how silence is violence right up until you literally excuse genocide being taking place in your it's almost like his second country of origin, really. Am I allowed to even say the name of it on the air without getting
paid for
banned?
Beijing
Can't even say simp on Twitch anymore, but we've gotten away with it now. I think
we
almost
should
every
just change it to slimp.
Slimp? What would slimp mean?
I don't know. It's play on words.
Oh, slimp.
Slimp.
Limp.
It's a limp simp.
It's a limp simp. You spend so much time on the internets watching your orn pay. You crank on it a little bit too hard to the point where after, that last little bit where it just goes, and you just get like a cloud of dust that shoots out the end of it, goes limp, because you're a slimp.
You're a slimp.
Onlyslimps.com.
You got too busy, pulling the skin off there too many times.
Oh. It brings back bad memories, bro. Bad memories.
So you guys like the new speaker, other than the headphones? Because it sounded like I was talking in back in the tank or something.
You kind of look like a doctor. You look like you're about to go and play physician, like, trying to feel up chicks in the grocery store. It's like, it's okay. Let me put in my little earphones here. I'm a doctor.
Well, I stayed at a Holiday Express last night. So.
Yeah. What the fuck?
So,
how old is that commercial?
Right now, right?
Shit.
So you're south of the Omama line.
I am south of the Omama line, and it is hot down here. It hit 80 degrees today, and then last night it was actually hot enough. We tried to turn on the air in this. We're staying on my in-laws' property, and there's this little trailer. It's just a spit's distance from the house, but it got so damn hot in there last night, and when we turned the air on, but the air didn't work. So by the time, like, middle of the night, it went from being 76 degrees in there to being 86 degrees in there. So not the most comfortable night's sleep I've ever had, and I'm running on like 4 days of very minimal sleep. So
yeah,
excuse the booze.
Hey, yeah.
You drank all your booze.
Welcome to I finished off the cold brew.
So, what are you drinking tonight?
I do have this rum.
Is that Captain's?
I think I shall pour me a shot of rum.
What is that?
It is spiced apple rum from Captain Morgan.
Okay. I thought I saw Captain on there.
Captain Morgan.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Buck Star Chaser says it sucks to be Blake in Texas without any fans. Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep while your girlfriend gives me a blowjob.
Yeah, you are south of the Omama line, but nobody is free from girlfriend jokes.
I'm not gonna go after anybody's mom. Not in this chat. Are you kidding me? Have you seen some of the dudes who follow this show? I mean, we got our favorite Unabomber. I don't want to know what his mama looks like. I love you, Polska Bob. No homo.
No homo. Yeah, well, apparently we've got a lot of craziness going to take place. Now, I'm going to just put this out there. this shenanigans that the Democrats are doing, because they're not even Democrats anymore, they're socialists.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until it kicks off. It's almost inevitable right now.
And I think that this bill that we're going to be talking about later in the stream is a really, really good indicator of what's to come. And it's definitely a testament to linguistic propaganda, that's for sure. Because they might call this the For the People Act of 2021, but it is anything but. And we're going to get into it in detail after we cover a couple of news stories today.
Yes.
So should we take it all the way back to January 6th?
I think we should, yes.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I'm not sure if you guys saw the FBI's so-called testimony, but yeah, we're over here at the Gateway Pundit. Chris Wray and the FBI's outrageous lies about domestic terrorism. So it's been interesting. The American public has been fed a steady diet of lies about violent white supreme pizza attacks, a.k.a. Trump supporters who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th in order to launch an insurrection and keep Donald Trump in power. None of that ever happened. We all know that. And there were 4 casualties, I believe, on January 6th, if I remember correctly. Maybe 3, possibly.
Well, one died from a stroke.
Yes. That had nothing to do with anything that happened that day. And even his own mom came out and said, no.
Yeah.
So every single casualty, and this is the big difference between, the summer of Black Lives Matter. Let's check this out here. 275 with an asterisk because those are still ongoing, versus one riot on January 6th, one of which caused over $2 billion in damage. January 6th, I believe the worst that happened was a hard drive was stolen and a window got smashed. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on it.
Stolen.
Yeah, laptop, yeah.
There was a window smashed, a couple doors kicked open. Yeah, there was no weapons there. Yeah. And you know what? When we showed the footage, they pretty much opened up the.
They let him in.
They let him in.
They absolutely let them in.
Yes.
Hilarious. And this is the big thing, because I was kind of leading up to this here. But the biggest thing to note is that, the Black Lives Matter riots are, at least 24 casualties. I think probably closer to 36 over the course of the 8 or 9 months, whatever it is.
All right, now.
That we're told about.
Yeah. Well, the thing is what about all the people that were injured in the proximity to
I'm just talking about people who got killed.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking. There's a lot of people injured and killed by surrounding crime that they called crime.
Yeah.
That happened as a direct result of a breakdown of law enforcement in the area. Oh, yeah,
the collateral damage of not having any law enforcement because we're going to defund the police. Where? Yeah, the extent of that damage is going to be ongoing, and it's never going to be tallied in because we have a media that doesn't give a shit about us anymore.
Correct. They don't care about the truth. Listen, in my professional opinion, when and if all of this kicks off, I think the media is going to get lumped in as enemy combatants,
as they should be.
Well, let me give you my information here. In my last 10 years. I wrote a desk mainly. I did ops. I put together training schedules. I did civil affairs stuff, and I worked with PsyOps. And PsyOps, it's an actual unit in the United States military. It is an actual weapon system as described by the U.S. military. And if the media is going to engage in PsyOps, guess what? They're a weapon system.
Yep.
And they should be treated as such. That's just my opinion. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But if I'm in the area and it's happening, I'm not going to lift a finger to stop it.
Concur. But we were saying like the biggest thing to note, and it mentions it right here in the article. How can you have a quote unquote erection when there are no weapons and no fatalities at the hands of the supposed revolutionaries? Every person who was injured, every person who got killed, which if Buck Quartermaster or whatever his name is, Buck Star Chaser in the chat is correct, if it's only Ashley Babbitt, then the only person killed in this so-called insurrection was a veteran, and she was murdered at the hands of the Capitol Police. And that is the biggest thing to take away from this.
Yep.
But some of his lies here, and we'll just outline them here. These are the facts that just explode in the face of what's his name here, Chris Wray. And you can tell that is a man who really enjoys the taste, smell, and feel of penis in all of his holes. Trump supporters did not kill a single person, including law enforcement personnel on the scene charged with protecting the Capitol. The lone police officer listed as a casualty died from a stroke, according to his own mother. 3 other fatalities died of medical emergencies. Only Ashley Babbitt was a victim of violence. She was unarmed and shot by a cop. The FBI, according to the counterterrorism official Jill Sanborn, did not recover any firearms from protesters, nor have they charged a single person with carrying a weapon on the Capitol grounds. Christopher Wray lied to Congress when he testified that the FBI had not seen any evidence of anarchist violent extremists or people subscribing to Antifa in connection with the 6th. In fact, the FBI has interviewed more than 24 Antifa members who admitted being paid to infiltrate the crowd of Trump supporters. As Joe Hoft noted in a recent post, Antifa BLM organizer John Sullivan was at the U.S. Capitol and bragged about wearing a MAGA hat during the riots where he broke a window and stormed the U.S. Capitol. And if I remember correctly, I have photo evidence and all that stuff. So we have down here, yep, there's the dude wearing a MAGA hat so that he can pretend to be, stunning and brave Trump supporter. So, but yeah, and every single person, every single Antifa member who showed up on the scene and was arrested for having a firearm, there were several, they've all been let go. So that there's probably no official police report on record because no charges are going to be filed.
Well, they're also, dropping felony charges against a lot of Antifa members now.
Oh, all over the country. It's been going on like that since the beginning.
Yeah, well, it started off with misdemeanors. They're doing felonies now.
Yeah. It's all, these are all Soros-appointed attorneys. That's the way that he's been infiltrating everything. He's not even going after the big politicians. A lot of them are in his pockets too, but he's been going, toward all these state-level people, prosecutors, governors, mayors.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. That's why we have to talk about it.
It's wrong, ridiculous, it's ridiculous, and it's open game.
Damn it anyhow.
God damn it.
It really cracks me up, though, just the sheer laziness of most people. Like, just before we jumped on the stream, I'm checking to make sure that everything's posted to Facebook. One of the things that freaking popped up is somebody actually saying that masks save lives. The CDC published a study last July completely debunking that. And yet they're still trying to push, double masking, triple masking. Shit.
Well, okay, they want you to wear triple masks, gloves, a face shield, and have a stick up your ass.
Yeah.
How's that going to work out for you? It's stupid.
It really amazes me. The other day, I'm over on the drive-thru at a Chick-fil-A, and there's these 2 people sitting in their car at the fucking drive-thru, and both of them have masks on. They're in the same car. I'm like, what? Why are you even driving together?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, because of the state of manhood in this country,
or
we have a lot more sheeple than we used to have.
Ugh.
And sheeple get herded to the slaughter. Don't ask any questions. They just
little bit.
They just walk right in. Yeah, go ahead, hit me in the head with the bat, whatever. That's the way it goes, man.
I've been seeing it. I grew up with it. I mean, I was part of generation number 2 of most people, being raised by sing mode. Duh, duh, I'm not interrupting Pop. Smurf my balls. I'm letting him talk.
It's all good, bro.
To my knowledge, I haven't interrupted you yet. But yeah, I remember just seeing all these dudes growing up, and it's just half of them were, if they weren't Chomo confirmed, they were damn close. And there was one dude who pretended to be gay just to get in chicks' pants.
That's shameful.
That is really shameful.
That is absolute shameful. That sounds like basically a sexual predator right there.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, it's okay. You can undress in front of me. I'm gay. And somebody's going to edit that clip out of context and post it on their fucking Facebook page. Damn it, I did it to myself.
Like when I went to basic training, when I first started off in the Army, there was we had one guy who was lighting the loafers named Dugas. They threw him out a window and never saw him again after that. And there was 2 individuals that were on the weak side, but by the end of the cycle, they were good to go. Nowadays, I mean, we have guys going into basic training and breaking hips. That's something that happens to people north of 55.
Yeah. Or people who just play too much damn Xbox, I guess.
Yeah, they play too much, Call of Duty, and then they go to basic training to do it for real, and they realize that that Xbox body ain't gonna cut it.
No, not so much. Oh, goodness gracious.
In their mind, and the thing is, we're seeing the weak bodies, but we're also seeing what goes with the weak body, weak mind.
Without a doubt, yeah. I'm not going to name names, but there are people in my family who have packed on a ton of weight since, throwing all in with, no, not the Iau, but stunning and brave women who befriend primarily dudes.
Oh.
Because that's never going to blow up in your face or anything.
No. Totally going to work out.
Totally going to work out, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when,
choice.
Changed his last name away from his family name.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, now, I know guys who got married, and they actually, allow their name to get hyphenated to, the wife's name.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you want to talk about coming out of the gate with a handicap. That's like a guaranteed divorce.
A little bit, yeah. Wasn't it a Hot Tub Time Machine? Craig Robinson, he goes up to the hotel counter and he's like, and he's ashamed of it, so he's like, Weber Agnew. And the guy's like, what? I can't hear you. I'm smoking too much weed. Weber Agnew, his buddies go, you're a fucking hyphenate? What the shit? Where are your balls?
Where are your balls?
You haven't been hyphenated, you're hymenated. Thank you, Wikipedia snippet, for that one. That's genius.
Because, my mom did that shit, and look how it worked out for her, huh?
No comment. She's got your haircut. That's all I need to say.
Well, I'm still north of the Obama line, so you can bash on her. I'm cool.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, she votes Democrat, so it's okay to bash on her.
Yeah, she gets really upset when I keep reminding her that because the property taxes and shit. She's like, I can't afford it. Well, you voted for him for 40 fucking years. Pay your bill.
Yeah, deal with it. Oh, we got a couple of chats over here from Streamlabs. Let's check this out here just a moment. Jimmy Bones with $10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was 2 days ago. Polska Bob donated $25. Looks like we're censor-free tonight so far. Here's some beer monies, gentlemen. Cheers. And then Jake Duke has given us an acronym for SLIMP. Sad loser idolizing mediocre poon.
Oh, damn. Write that down.
Oh, I will.
SLIMP. That's even better than simp.
Will the real Slimp Shady please stand up?
SLIMP.
Speaking of...
with the funniest acronyms,
man. I think O-Beef is one of my new favorites of all time. Love O-Beef. O-Beef and cheddar.
I'm like, I wonder what the acronym was. And you just look at me and you go, it's O beef. I go, oh my God. It was like it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Like I'm like, oh, that was comedy gold right there, bro.
Love it. Oh man.
Ah,
For people out there looking for a little bit of specificity before we do a quick, I guess we'll call it a station identification. We're going to go over here once again. One Antifa member was caught with a gun and arrested on January 6th on weapons charges, but Leslie Grimes was later released despite lying to officers about the gun in their vehicle. Now I ask you, if a dude wearing a MAGA hat had done the same thing, would he be buried underneath the jail or just next to it?
he'd be fucked. Yeah, he'd be screwed, man. Yeah, I mean that when I was there, my spidey sense went off. And I'm like, I'm going to the hotel room because nothing good's going to take place there.
I thought we were all supposed to be equal under the law. I mean,
Well, like one of the main reasons why we're having a lot of these, peaceful, fiery protests.
Yeah.
Is because of so many people being killed by the police.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's totally okay when the unarmed woman gets shot by police.
And nobody did anything about it.
No one did jack shit, and that was not. Oh my gosh. Filthy McNasty wants to know what O-Beef stands for. Old, bitchy, entitled, expensive, and fat. There you go. Don't ask Papa because he'll be like, huh?
Yeah, I gotta get up to speed on remembering all these.
Yeah,
that's good.
The acronyms that we come up with together are the ones that are always the hardest for you to remember. But like OPAF, you've had in your head since probably long before you retired from the Army. So that one's just ingrained in there.
OPAF, yeah.
It's genius.
Old, poor, powerless, and fat.
Fat.
Listen, a lot of these women who buy into, womenism.
Womenism.
They,
Phlegmanism.
by the time they're 40, 45, it's a wash, man.
Yeah.
There's a main reason why I say 40 to 80 is a long fucking time.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, shit, man. You can even do everything right. As a woman, you're more likely to outlive your partner. Those last few years, if you have them, are going to be a long fucking time. Just imagine if you had done all that from the beginning. Like my grandma had to live the last, 11 years of her life without my grandfather. And, you could see it suck the life out of her. Imagine having that kind of just sheer misery and loneliness be a direct result of your shitty choices.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I every time I bring it up to my mother, she's like, "All you do is attack me." And I'm like, "Mom, just telling you the truth.
Yeah,
you are a serial bad decision maker."
Uh-oh, they're coming to get you, Pop.
I live right off of Van Dyke, and there's always some idiot getting limousine service.
Oh, that's just mean, dude. Hooper drives the boat. I'm assuming he drives the Titanic. Says if Blake was a good grandson, he would have given her the pillow treatment. Well, that's essentially what Fauci wants us all to do now, right? I mean, you put on 3 masks and then try to go for a run.
You're dead.
We'll see how that goes for you.
You're going to pass out from too much CO2. And if you're old, your cardiovascular system is not going to bounce back from that shit. You might just die.
You do that too many times, you might just actually wake up one day and consider voting Democrat, and that would be a bad day for everybody.
Or you could wake up dead.
You could wake up dead.
Yeah, right?
You would wake up in the lobby. Is that what you said? Like, I just go see the lobby?
Hey, go see the lobby. What's beyond the lobby? I don't know. You go to the lobby,
Uh-oh, you made the mistake of talking about the main road you live off of, and now they're like, Pop lives in a Van Dyke? No chomo.
No. Hey, look, it's just one of the main roads that goes by.
You're drinking straight rum tonight, so I think it all evens out.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who lives downstairs still in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing? Any updates?
He's getting a little better, They had to, basically clear an obstruction in his intestines. He had a hernia and it fucked him up. And now they're trying to give everything basically a jump start to get it rolling again. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel bad for the dude, man. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, but he did it all. He did it to himself. It is what it is.
True story. Yeah, I mean, there comes a point when you can no longer blame, being 500 pounds on a thyroid or whatever.
Yeah. Listen, my heart goes out to people who get injured or get sick and it's no fault of their own. I mean, yeah. But if you smoked for 30 some odd years and then all of a sudden you got lung cancer and then look, bro, what did you think was going to happen? Every time you lifted that shit to your mouth, you made a decision. I'll be fine. It's all going to work out. No, I'm sorry.
It's different. For me, it's different because I love me.
I'll be different. The rules don't apply to me. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm sure my dad thought the same way. He passed away from lung cancer when I was 20, and he had actually promised to quit smoking when I was born. Had he kept that promise, he probably would still be alive. But no, he smoked unfiltered Lucky Strikes until the day he no longer could because he was in a hospital bed in a coma.
Wow. Unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, not like the filter helps.
No. But all right, what most people don't know about tobacco, right? Back in the day, when you were a farmer and most of the people in America, had farms and so forth, or worked on a farm, you worked all day. At the end of the day, you went home, you had dinner. After dinner, you had a pipe or two. Okay, that is nothing compared to what we have now, where people are going through 1 to 2, 3 packs a fucking day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. What are you gonna do?
Jimmy Bones, you disgusting son of a bitch.
What do you do now?
He already went ahead and made a meme of me touching my nipples, and it says, "I'm Captain Blake. Welcome to the gay cruise." Hats off to you, sir. That is what we call taking initiative.
Yeah. Any more super chats?
Oh, yeah, we got a bunch more super chats here over from Streamlabs. We got Jimmy Bones, who says to check out the Instagram chat, so I did. Thank you very much for that. I already knew that I was going to pay for that as soon as I said it, so thank you for proving me 100% correct. Jaffa won the bound $4.99. Jesus Christ, Blake, are you trying to do an impression of Ron Howard with a peach fuzz on your face, or are you trying to look tough for the gay cruise? Did you guys not notice that I've had this for 8 months? Just asking for a friend. Your powers of observation have failed you, just like your penis. Give my regards to your wife. Messing with you. To Simon Templar, 99 cents with no comment. Pancho Villa, $5. Got to say thanks to Pops. I can't eat Pringles anymore or drink from straws.
Somebody shits in one Pringle can, man. Jesus.
Well, there are some things
they never let you live it down.
Well, no, there are some things that are so legendary that they rewrite your thinking meat, and you can't look at them anymore without thinking about that. Anybody who saw Two Girls, One Cup is never going to be able to look at Asian porn without thinking, this is kind of freaky. Shit. Yeah, this is kind of freaky. It's a little messed up, but at least it's not two girls vomiting and shitting in each other's mouths. Or
I remember when somebody showed me that stuff. I was on deployment.
Oh, God.
In 2004. And I was just like, it was shockingly nasty.
You remember, I don't know if you ever saw this video, and I'm ashamed that I have seen it, because it is one of those things, once you see him, you can't unsee him. The dude who shoves a full-size glass mason jar up his ass, and while
What is it with that?
I don't know. Well, while it was in there, it shattered. And then he started pulling pieces out, and you just see the blood dripping over his hands. And he does it so calmly. So you haven't seen that video.
I don't want to see that.
Well, I know what I'm getting
Don't-
you for Christmas.
Well, first of all right, why is it that these people show up in the emergency room with light bulbs up their asses?
I don't know, man.
What?
Ever since my...
And what?
Go ahead.
And what world are you in where you're like, you know, it'd be a good idea
This is a great way to spend my time.
if I take that light bulb and put it up my ass? Where in the flow chart of insanity of life are you when we make that decision? That's insane.
It's like, you know what I've never done before? They might land me in the emergency room and, you know, pad the water cooler stories for the next half a decade. Shove this fucking glass jar up my ass. And everybody's wondering why I've seen that. The reason why, I think, is I didn't think to watch it. It was dudes in college. Hey, dude, you gotta see this fucked up shit. We're all drinking, you know? And then you watch it, and by the time you're done, you're like, why? Why did you feel compelled to saturate and that my eye sockets and burn that into my retinas? Now I'm going to be scarred for life. And it's true. Dudes do this to each other all the time.
And how long did it take that dude to be able to, you know, train his body to take a jar up his ass?
Everybody needs a hobby?
God, that is insane. We as a race are fucked up, bro. We are going to the dustbin of history.
Yes.
And we're getting there at breakneck speed.
Yeah. I don't just don't look at my internet search history. You'll all be happy. The stuff that I have to look at for this show. Not to mention the stuff that people just randomly send me because they love the idea that I will pass along something that might make you puke.
I don't understand why you guys like that shit. That's
well, it's like that is something that as children kind of gets ingrained in our psyche. Like, hey, if it bothers him, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, it's like, oh, I tickled you and you peed yourself. Oh, okay, well, I'm never gonna do that again. You made the mistake of letting people know. Oh, that's really disgusting. My thinking meat has no filter. So when I hear about drinking straws or Neapolitan ice cream, I want to puke. And everybody in the chat's just like, oh, yes. I can't send it directly to Popp, but maybe if I find out where Blake is on Facebook and Instagram, let the games begin.
Oh, my God. Hey, man, listen, that whole recovering from the TBI and a stroke and all that horse shit, that was hard. It took years.
Yeah.
I literally had to rewire and change the programming of my thinking meat.
Yeah, I mean, when I met you, you were still sleeping in traction.
Uh-huh.
When did that even stop? I mean, I know you and I started working
I
together.
still do it from time to time now.
Oh, okay. So it's still an ongoing thing, just not every night?
No, I put the traction on and like watch like one or two shows on Netflix for like 1 or 2 hours and take it off. But when I first came back from Iraq, I slept in a traction collar for almost 6 years.
Not to be confused with the collar that your ex-wife used to put on you?
Oh, well, we're going to go there. Oh. No, that never took place.
No. It wasn't her that put the collar on you. It was her lawyer. Just be completely honest about that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Come here. We're going to take you to where the food is. Oh, no, wait, that's a pile of shit. Get your nose in there, you little fucker. This is what you get for getting married to a whore.
Yeah, if I knew then what I know now, man.
Yeah, that's true for all of us.
Rewrite the whole thing.
That was way off in the weeds for a simple super chat about the Pringles can full of shit. But hey, you know, this is why you guys tune in, right? TJ Franklin 227, Slimp Sucker loves idolizing mediocre poon. And we can lump that one in there with that. I like that one as well. Dynaside 13. Let's see. Last time I had Rummet was my DM's birthday party. He drank himself into another dimension and carried him to the sink for his Technicolor yawns. Oh, Technicolor yawns. I've had some of that. When I was in high school and I used to smoke weed, it makes me motion sick. And when you're high, you all kinds of food combinations that would never sound good in your right frame of mind suddenly sound amazing. Like potato salad and cinnamon rolls and Doritos and then when they come out not just your mouth but also your nose and it looks like party favors like winding around each other. And so you got that smell stuck in there for the next what feels like 18 fucking years. It makes you want to stop.
Well, here's a vomit story. You'll love this one.
Oh boy.
In the Ranger Battalion, they did a thing called block leave.
Block
and
leave.
that's where everybody goes on leave. Everybody. So the night before block leave starts, we start drinking. And the way it works is it doesn't matter how drunk you get, you're making your flight the next day. Because everyone will make sure you get in the cab and you'll do your deal. Well, this one dude decided to drink himself to the point where he was throwing up and all kinds of craziness. And people were taking pictures of everyone. So, I mean, everyone was playing the fool. But somebody felt sorry for this particular individual and dragged him into the shower so he can vomit on the floor and it would be fine.
Until it clogs the drain.
Well, said individual decided to take off all his clothes, was laying there in the shower because he's naked because he's all wet. And somebody felt sorry for him and decided to pick him up. And at that moment, somebody snapped a picture. And this individual sitting there looking at the camera like this. There's a guy standing right behind him, holding him by the hips, but you can't see the guy behind him. You just see him from like the neck down. So we don't think anything of it, you know. This individual gets in the cab, he makes it to the airport, and like 2 weeks after, block leave, one of my roommates is like, "Hey, can you drive me down the PX? I got to pick up my film." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I go down there. There's a picture of said guy drinking, and there's this like cloud of vomit. It was somebody like, it was perfect exposure. Just this massive cloud of vomit with particles of food in it. It was like literally, I had to like look away for a second. I was like, oh. And then 2 pictures behind that was the picture of the same individual looking at the camera with a naked man standing behind him, holding him by the hips. And let's say that that particular picture, about a year later, made it to the Seattle gay dating rag.
Oh no! Oh.
And this individual had went to another unit by then. He was getting pillowcases of gay date mail.
Wow! Pillowcases. Wow!
Gay date mail.
I officially vacate my spot as the captain of the Crytanic Gay Cruise, and I relinquish it to that poor son of a bitch.
Well, here's the best part. The individual who sent it in took a copy of that paper, mailed it to him directly, and then mailed a copy to his father, who's a retired Navy SEAL.
Ooh.
So said individual shows up at the barracks with a 12-gauge shotgun. We're like, oh my God! And like, dang, we had to talk him down. Dude, you want to talk about assholes, man?
Wow.
There was a feud going on there. It was
wow.
That was a bad one.
Wow. What do you say to that? This is one of the reasons why I don't try to cut us off when we go off on tangents, because every once in a while you remember a story that has never graced the Live from the Lair videos, and it is pure comedy gold.
Squirrel. Yeah, I got thousands of stories, man. I just got to remember them all.
Well, I mean, you got damaged thinking meat, and I mean, you were in the Army for 33 years. I mean, I don't know if there's room in a brain pan for that many stories.
Hey, and like the last, 12 years, I was a higher level NCO, and I used to always run interference for people because, and officers, they don't really have enough time to like get into all the details. They're too busy going to meetings and stroking each other's dicks and stuff and putting on knee pads and stabbing each other in the back and shit. I mean, that takes a lot of their time. I can't tell how many times like my door would open. Hey, Pop, I need you to do this, that, and this. Okay. End of the day. Okay, I can get it done. And I would just go down and start just being an absolute asshole. What? Fuck you. What? I didn't ask you that. This is what I want. What? Fuck you. Talk to me at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, all kinds of stories like that.
It's good times. It's good times, especially when there's a cloud of vomit involved. Yeah, I can't even go.
I wish I had that picture.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god, that was comedy gold, man.
There are photos of me that exist when I was probably 19 or 20. I've never actually seen them. I just remember in my catatonic haze, sitting on the toilet with a wastebasket in my lap. I'm trying to nap on it, right? I remember hearing the giggles and the creaking of the door opening like it's in Bela Lugosi's fucking castle in Dracula. And I just hear, it was film camera. Like, oh, great. I'm going to have to find that camera in the morning if I remember to. But, my buddy Neil, I can't even go and see him over at OU now, to go and get a lunch. I walk in the office and he's like, hey, Blake, how you doing? And then he turns his little desk chair to the side, and then sitting there on his laptop is the shot of me puking half my life away into a garbage disposal over on, or a garbage can over on Bourbon Street when we were in New Orleans together. I swear he keeps that around just to fuck with me. That was a really interesting night.
I wish I had that picture. I don't know where it went, but it was comedy gold.
And there's a sack of gay date mail to prove it.
Oh my God.
Demon Wolf MGTOW, $20 chat. Pop, if you're drinking rum, you need some Sailor Jerry's 92 proof. We actually have a bottle of that under the bar.
Sailor Jerry's is some good. The spiced rum is really good. Man.
Yeah,
what else is really good?
What?
The Kraken.
Of course, yes.
The spiced rum. Oh my God.
That is, I would say that is my favorite rum. It has a nice kick to it. It goes down smooth. It's fantastic.
Yep, and you can taste a little bit of blackstrap molasses in the background.
Yeah, I like molasses. I used to like those molasses cookies. I forget the name of the brand or whatever. It comes in a little red cardboard box. Good stuff. Stephen Kent, $5. How can Biden hate the red states for canceling the lockdown? Leftists love canceling shit. Amen, brother. Amen
for that, motherfucker. Amen.
And that's, what? Well, that's a really good segue into, you already kind of mentioned it, but we're going to just head right on over to it here. Neanderthal thinking. Joe Biden trashes Texas and Mississippi governors for allowing businesses to reopen and ending mask mandates. See, the only reason that he likes to wear his mask is because he dips it in the urine of schoolgirls.
Listen, I said, how many times we covered this? If this thing was so deadly, it would have wiped out the homeless population.
Yeah, they'd be gone. In India,
and they've been virtually untouched.
Any third world country would be dust if it's that deadly. They'd be gone. Their populations,
India, they lost half their population by now.
No, but the only real consequences that we've seen in these countries is as a direct result of the economic lockdowns in the first world. We got people dying of starvation and not the disease.
Correct. It's insane.
Attack. Good old Biden. But it's not like anybody really listens to him anyway. I mean, even when he offers to answer questions, he gets smoked by his own party because they
turned
know.
Off the feed, man. I remember I saw that. I was just like, really?
Yeah, we're gonna turn this over.
That's
here.
Some confidence right there, man.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I'm happy to take your questions, and Pelosi's in the background smoking a menthol, going, "Oh hell no, you killed that shit."
Kill the feed. Kill the feed. Kill the feed.
If you guys haven't seen that yet, we're going to go over here to Fox News. White House cuts virtual event feed after Biden says he's happy to take questions from House Democrats. The 46th president has yet to hold a press conference 7 weeks after taking office. I was actually going to ask about that.
State of the Union, he blew it off.
He blew off State of the Union, and he has not done a single press conference yet. And
no, he can't. I'm serious.
No, I know he can't.
He's an idiot if he tries. He really is.
Oh, God.
Well, we already know he's an idiot. He's always been an idiot. And I don't know why he's been around for 50 fucking years.
Well, even when he was in his right mind, he was still a gaffe master.
Yeah, he was a yes man.
Yeah,
I hate yes men.
Ugh.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I can't stand working with yes men. I can't stand being around them.
Well, him and Kamala have that in common. They both got to where they eventually hit their peak because of their affinity for chapstick and knee pads.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
You're hiding with Biden. What are you hiding? Sausage in the rear entrance. Buckle up.
Buckle up, baby. The sausage is coming. Oh, God, that's disgusting.
All right, I'm going to bring you over here to that page. Here we go. Biden, I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
Whatever you want me to do. Yeah, that sounds like a leader, right? Yeah, I'm happy to do whatever you want me to do because I'm the leader of the free world.
You see the woman doing the sign language off to the side?
I know.
She tilts her head to the side.
She's like
she's saying, "Yeah, look, because that's really gonna happen."
It's like, okay, so Hair Plugs Snifferson is off the feed, and I'm just standing here.
Well, no, like just before, like if you wind it back just a few seconds.
All right, let me do this here.
Just before the feed cuts off. You'll see how she tilts her head to the sides, like she's like doing like.
Yep.
Like
she's like, huh? She's like, huh? Am I supposed to? And then
see, look at her. She's like, yeah, that's gonna happen.
She's like, right here, she looks constipated, and then they cut the feed, and she's like, okay, the camera's not on me anymore. Oh shit. Okay, just smile. Thank you for joining us.
I'm telling you, man, it's insane. It's insane. Everyone knew that was going to happen.
Everyone
except
knew.
for him, maybe.
Everyone knew. It's just amazing that. God, how does? Well, it's not half the country. They want us to believe that he's the most popular president that we've ever had.
No, he's not.
But he won't give a State of the Union because he can't. String 5 words together without it looking like his face is going to explode. He's been governing exclusively by executive order, but he's a big step up from the last one because we got rid of a dictator.
It's more like a dictator.
No, that's his wife.
No, I'm saying we're supposed to get rid of the dictator, which is Trump, to be replaced by the dictator.
Well, that hasn't happened yet, but she's eagerly waiting in the wings inside of that Trojan horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good times. Good times. I mean, wow. What do you even say about, a guy like this? And, we were talking earlier about people's health. Well, super spreader Joe Biden is releasing positive migrants into the U.S. interior. I believe this happened in California, Stan. Let's go down here. Yep, here we go. City of Brownsville administers these rapid tests at the bus station after migrant families are released by Border Patrol. Spokesperson for Brownsville confirmed that since they began doing the test, 108 migrants have tested positive for which is 6.3% of those who took the test, and they were just released into the country. I thought that we were supposed to be deadly afraid of this pandemic. The darkest days of it are still ahead. That's what, Monsieur Biden would love us to believe.
Full of shit. full of shit.
Yeah, and he's saying, I think he's trying to say that, Texas and Mississippi are jumping the gun. We're going to stay locked down until next year. Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think so.
But, Democrats are the party of the poor, right? They care about you.
No, they don't.
Oh, man. I just, the disease may be real, but everything that has happened, the human response to it has been 1,000% bullshit.
Well, first of all, a lot of people out there who are weak-minded and are sheeple are falling lockstep and believing all of this fucking, snake charmer bullshit that they're doing.
Of course.
I didn't believe it from the beginning.
No, I mean, you and I were doing, from the moment that it became obvious that this is something that is going to come here, we were on it. I mean, I remember I was here last year around this time. You're making lair videos, and almost every single one of them was about the Yahoo. And we started doing all the videos.
I remember you came back, and I dropped off your hydroxychloroquine to you.
Yep. I was like, oh, but I didn't get you anything.
I'm like, here you go. He's like, what's this? Oh, it's hydroxychloroquine. Where'd you get this? Don't worry about it.
I have my ways.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
It is. Well,
Get on the phone, call Greenberg Express. Hey, man, I need this.
What is this gesture? You're like, now
Smoke
you
and
see
mirrors
it,
and magic.
now you don't.
Hey.
Is that the move that you're supposed to do right before you pull a Houdini on your college girlfriend?
Well, and I was also telling people, to get their toilet paper and stock up on food and stuff. And I just did I filmed a video today in regards to stuff that people are overlooking now that will be gone in the near future. They should focus on it. And that's tools.
Tools, yeah. I mean, the survival and prepping videos that you've been doing are blowing up on Alt Tech, and even on the backup channels.
Well, the thing is everyone has their consciousness and everything's focused on guns and ammo, and it's hard to get your hands on those now because ammo is incredibly expensive because the demand is so high. But if things get really bad and the economy shuts down and you can't get your hands on the tools, they'll be gone. So you need to be able to one step ahead of the crowd. So the next thing that they're going to that you need to focus on to get ready for any craziness is tools.
Tools. And not the kind that your ex-wife used to date in college. We're not talking about those kind of tools. Actual tools.
I'm just touching on small ones now, but we'll get into a list down the road.
Touching on small tools now, huh? Are you going to try to horn in on my gay cruise action? You son of a bitch.
No, I'm talking about like all the different types of, what's it? Punches and hammers and X-Acto knives, wire cutters and stuff like that, to work on weapons and stuff.
Yeah, and other things that you'll need as well, because I mean, if things go full shenanigans and you have to, build a cabin in the woods, you're not going to be judo chopping down trees for that. You need tools.
Yep.
I mean, you can try.
I'm actually going to be focusing on some of the bigger stuff here coming up too. So
outstanding. All right, we can go back to some more super chats here, and then we're going to get into the big subject of the night, and it is probably going to take almost the entire last hour because there is a lot of shit to unpack in this bill. Bad news bears. Thinky Stingers McFarthing with 420 euros. Tester money, tester money. Winning? No. Baba Maluga, which sounds like a whale of some sort. Perhaps he married one. I don't know. I don't judge. Try some rye Woodfoot. Airborne knees and feet together, Pops, watching the country that I served die.
It is sad, but it's true.
It really is. I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, that's exactly what's happening.
We are watching it being just ripped away from us. This was supposed to be a country of and by the people, and now it's a bunch of asshats,
Serving the mob.
Serving the mob, and they all got their hands in each other's pockets, and occasionally you see them, working each other's crankshafts a little bit, but for the most part, it's just it's a big club full of rich kids, and you and I are not invited.
Yep.
Let's see here. Dynaside 13, $5. Is a 16-inch long enough for 5.56 camping gear, or is a good glass piece enough?
If you're using 5.56, 16-inch is more than enough. I typically like 20 and 24 inches with a heavier barrel for more precise accuracy at range.
That's why you're so popular in the gay cruise.
Yeah, that's it. Right
24
he's talking about
inches.
the glass pack. I think he's talking about some type of baffling device. So I'm not really up to speed on all that stuff. So
yeah, that's surprising. You have so much gun knowledge floating around in your brain pan.
I know how to build them and stuff. I haven't messed with them in a while. And typically, you don't want to have anything on the end of the rifle that requires glass. Fiberglass, because that shit will catch on fire if it gets hot enough.
Gotcha.
There's other baffling ways you can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I have a little bit of trivia for you. To go. I mean, it would have gone great with all of the weapons that went down in the drink during your tragic boating accident on the Titanic, but I figure it still might be useful information for you.
Okay.
Got it from my brother-in-law. He's a good dude. Dynaside 13 again. Effed up my last one. 16-inch compared to a 20-inch.
20-inch. All right, yeah. If you want to engage targets at a distance more accurately, you want a longer barrel.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing room clearing or you're going to be fighting inside a real tight urban environment, the shorter barrel is a little more useful, but it's either here nor there.
Here nor there. Gundanium Dova again. Be sure to +1 the view count tonight since I got my pa watching with me, loving the live streams. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, man. We always appreciate it. We have 778 people currently watching between
people?
Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
How many people?
778. So we're running a little light tonight.
We're a little light.
Make sure you punch that like button, guys, and share this out with your friends. For some reason, YouTube does not seem to understand the concept of time zones, even though I am scheduling it at the correct time. It seems to be trying to say that it's an hour later, and I can't seem to get it right. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But it is what it is. Crump, $2. The thin blue line keeps getting thinner. Unless you're talking about the actual cops themselves, because some of them are a little roomy around the middle.
I don't know what the cops are going to do when it gets really bad. I really don't.
Well, especially if they keep getting defunded. But I think that's a trend that's going away, if I remember correctly. Minneapolis is already trying to pool together community resources and city council to address the crime problem in the advent of defunding the police. Not like anybody, tried to warn you that would happen or anything. Mother fornicators.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's crazy, bro.
It is crazy. There's not a better word for it. Let me see. Carl Jackson, civil disobedience is not terrorism or ink erection.
Yep. You're absolutely correct.
What should we call it? Inside-out erection? Would that be a good code word for insurrection?
Yeah, inside-out erection works just fine.
Inside-out erection. Well, I think Stunning and Brave Bruce Jenner would know all about that.
That's right. I was just going to say that. That's another. We can also use that for code speak for the
manual.
The man-woman.
Yeah, the manual transmissions.
The shimps or the himshees.
The himshees. A himshee sounds like something you would get at an Asian buffet. from Korea. Southern,
Yep.
not northern.
Yep.
Oh, it's a free hug says, yeah, Facebook gave the wrong time. Okay, so it's not just this one. Good times. Good times. Tacitus, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kilgore, $5, and it looks like a bear doing what? Oh, kissing a smaller bear or some sort of alien creature. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Facebook employee, $4.99. Popster, what's your prime and current count of push-ups, dumbbells, bench press, and running mileage? Any Army tips for a working training program?
Okay. What I do mostly now is I do speed walks, and then I have push-up bars with me, and I usually stop every 100 meters or so and do anywhere from 10 to 20 push-ups, and you do that for 4 miles. By the time you come back, you've done somewhere like 300 or 400 push-ups. I don't really lift heavy anymore. I'll do 225 once in a while, but that one video I did a couple years back was pretty much the last hurrah of the 225 bench press. I did 20 reps or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember.
It was 20 reps, and my shoulders, elbows hurt for like 2 months. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna call it quits on that. So
yeah,
like,
that was wild.
I usually just do boxing workouts now, and I do 3 cycles a year. I work up to doing. I start off and I do the road work, and then I do the bag work and the speed bag, the double end bag, and then I work up to being able to do 12 3-minute rounds on a heavy bag, averaging anywhere between 150 and 300 strikes, in a 3-minute period. And then I take some time off, and then I start over 2-3 times throughout the year.
Got a little bit of an audio hiccup on that there, but I could still understand you. Apologize for that, gentlemen. We're running through Skype tonight because it seems to have better audio and visual quality. And Popp finally busted out that Yeti microphone that's just been kind of collecting dust in a box. That's what it sounds like when you're a teenager and you wank off too much. You go like 5 times in a day, and then you're like, I gotta get one more. What the hell? Comes out like baby powder, and you're like, I think I broke the damn thing. You wank off too much when like Kleenex considers your purchase of their product like a cashback rebate. Bad times. Irish Lover 7745. Only eunuchs are hyphenated. Concur.
Really?
James Rankin, $5. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like, why get married? If you're gonna get married and she wants to hyphen her name, just like, fuck it, I'm done. Don't know. Sorry.
Nah. One of the things that really blazes my balls, and I love it when Fleminists try to make this argument. They say, well, I shouldn't have to change my name to my husband's name. That's patriarchy. And then you kind of look at her sideways for a second, like, okay, don't you mean your father's last name? And then you just wait for it to sink in. Because, patriarchy is, named for what it is because of families having a patriarch, aka a father. So if you insist on keeping your father's last name, guess what you're rolling with? Stay with
That's
me.
right.
But
Absolutely correct.
You can't find logic in feminism. It's just nowhere to be found.
No. They're living their truth.
You're living my truth, yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, okay. Going to feminists for logic is
In fact, I answered a comment the other day where the guy's like, you would get like more viewers if you catered to other people's lived reality. And I'm like, what? There's only one reality.
There's only one.
Else is an opinion. Everything else is an opinion.
Wow. Yeah, I had a friend of mine try to say, like, have you guys ever talked about, thought about talking about stuff like inclusivity and tolerance. Like, we do preach that stuff. It's called personal responsibility. There's no greater way to teach somebody tolerance and inclusivity than taking responsibility for their own shit and telling them to stop blaming everyone else.
Because if you blame everyone else, you'll be the forever victim.
Yep. And victims tend not to have the most forward-thinking attitudes, nor the momentum that's required for things like success, ambition, things like that.
And they come up with lists of the things they don't have and call it white supreme pizza.
Yes. It's privilege that I don't have these things and you do. Well, it's not like you worked for them or anything.
When you read that list to me, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I can't believe that somebody got drunk and high enough to come up with 46 of those things, and then other people got drunk and high enough to actually teach it in school.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
That's nuts, bro.
Man. This was what, 1988, I think, is when it was written. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, 88 was like the height of the crack revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that you would know or anything. Or...
I live outside Detroit, and I used to go on the roof and watch Detroit burn down.
Yeah.
In the early 80s. Yeah.
Every time I think about crack, I think about that Dave Chappelle character. Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway? I want some crack.
Oh, man, that guy's hilarious.
I love it. Let's see. James Rankin, $5. Mad Jack Churchill carried a Scottish broadsword into battle in World War II. What kind would Popp carry if the country turns into a two-way rifle range? Well, if you're carrying a broadsword into a two-way rifle range, you might want to carry a body bag as well.
Well, I actually I read the biography of that guy you're talking about, and he actually had a longbow as well, and he actually shot people with it in firefights.
So he's like Rambo. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Like, you imagine a firefight going on, and he just pulls out a bow and arrow.
Boom!
It starts dropping people. Yeah, that dude is nuts, man.
Yeah, my favorite military figure of all time, if he can even be considered as such, was Francis Marion from the American Revolution. They called him the Swamp Fox. And what this dude would do is he would essentially sneak up on British patrols that were like hunkered in for the night. He'd, fire off some shots, get everybody all riled up, and then he would get them to follow him into the swamps, which he knew like the back of his hand, and then he would just let the bugs, animals, and disease take care of them. It's genius. And then I found out, many years later, that I actually dated one of his descendants.
Wow.
So like, okay, that's pretty sweet. I think I'll keep dating you for a little while longer.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked that. I was like, what are the odds?
It's a small world, though.
It's a small world, yeah. Good times. Riggs Jr. I shit you not. That's what it says.
What? Riggs Jr.?
Riggs Jr. with a $25
still
chat.
Alive? He had a son? Oh, my God.
Oh, you know what? Considering how he just spread his seed to the four winds, he probably has illegitimate children all over the country. Whether or not any of them were born with HIV, could be, maybe not.
Never know. They might have the hipple-hiv. Yeah.
The hipple-hiv, yeah. The herpetogonosyphilis, yeah.
Got yourself a case of herpetogonosyphilis.
With a broken shoulder, neck, back, knee.
Now, I heard there's actually some more shit in Africa that's coming up that's pretty nasty, too. I don't remember the name of it, but I saw some pictures. I was like, oh, my God!
We already got super gonorrhea, and I'm pretty sure Riggs is directly to blame for that. Him and a chick I used to bang. Damn it, Heidi. Riggs Jr., thanks for all you do, Popp. My red pill rage and urge to ventilate my thinking meat went away when I found this channel. Oh, we got another one. What are we up to?
338.
Here's some money for cold brew and drinking straws. Cheers from Nebraska.
That's why I do this, man.
I'm gonna buy you a drinking.
From killing themselves.
I'm gonna buy you a drinking straw that's long enough to actually make it to the bottom of a full fifth, and then you won't have any excuse not to use it.
Shut the fuck
I'm not really going to put any time and effort into it. I'm just going to grab one from a 7-Eleven. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, you need a straw the size of a Ferris wheel just to drink something that has its own fucking undertow. Irish Lover 7745, the Smoker, the Joker, the Midnight Stoner, and Blake the Pole Smoker.
Oh my God! A take off that old Steve Miller song.
I didn't know she had a dick. I mean, and
Dick
you should be
is-
ashamed of your mother for trying to bed me in the first place.
I don't need to hear these things, man.
No, I didn't hear these things either. I mean, you already saw the crying game. That was enough, right?
I got ambushed on that.
Or in my case, the end of Sleepaway Camp. Kiro Ninja 00, Popp and Blake, I think the Blue Purge might be coming soon to a major city in every blue state. Do you agree? And what do you think of the Benellium 4?
Well,
I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
there might be a purge. Like if this turns into a he said, she said, and you have some states that are actually seceding from the union, and it's going to turn into something really bad. Now, I really don't know what's going to take place in some of the blue states, because most of the blue states are only blue because the major large cities in those states are blue, like Michigan, Detroit. Let's see, you have Lansing, Flint, and Grand Rapids, all Democrat cities. And they pretty much dictate what goes on in the whole state. Now, if you get away from those cities, you get out, into the country and so forth, that's all Republicans. They're all conservatives. And they've pretty much isolated themselves to their own demise, especially if there is a huge organized hooty-doo that goes down. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, they're pretty much already contained. So it could get quite nasty. Quite nasty. All right, you good?
I'm back. I even emptied my bladder.
Oh, I didn't need to hear that, but that's cool.
Well, it's better than taking the mic into the bathroom with me. Like you do all the time, you criminal fuck.
Bummer.
Bummer. What do we got here? Smooth criminal. Any thoughts on the Biden airstrike without Congress approval?
Well, we already knew that was going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot more. In fact, I'm sure it's happening as we speak. It's just not getting any airplay.
Of course not.
He's going to be a drone-killing motherfucker.
Just like his, stunning and brave Kenyan in chief.
Correct.
Ugh. It only took him, 36 days to start bombing the Middle East? America's back! Ugh. Watching the Democrats try to out-MAGA the Republicans.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's sad. It is monumentally pathetic. And it's so damn cringy. There's already a Patriot Party. It's the Democrats.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. You would have better luck convincing me that OJ didn't do it. Just saying.
Yep.
Well,
we all know he did. So.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly. he was not convicted by a jury of his peers. Right.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, this is really bad. I really don't see us pulling out from the crash. I just don't see it happening.
No. I mean, I'm bad at pulling out anyway, let alone for something like this.
Yeah. So how many people we have watching now?
We have 818. Thank you all
right.
very much for tuning in. Keep that like button. Keep smashing it. Share this out, because that is the only thing that breaks through the lovely algorithm that just hates our guts.
Them rat bastards.
Bastards.
Sons of bitches.
We're going to move on to the main story of the night and then get back to your super chats. But first, a word from our sponsor, Dr. B. Reels, Surviving Fourth Wave Feminism. The books are a little pricey on Amazon, but the amount of research and time that went into writing these things, absolutely fantastic. With Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free, or you can buy it for $7.70. Paperbacks are $42 a piece because it is a very thick book, and it takes a while to print. So, but at least it's not banned like When Harry Became Sally. My gosh.
Yeah. Your eBay is dumping shit off of their platform.
Yeah.
The Dr. Seuss crap.
They're not allowing people to buy the Dr. Seuss books, and I'm guessing that after Amazon has jumped on the censorship train, this is only going to get worse before it gets better. No civilization that has resorted to censorship has ever survived.
Correct.
So that's why I'm just try to enjoy the ride and fight like hell. Bad News Bears, by the way, link to those books in the description. Check them out. Now we have to talk about everybody's favorite thing today. Oh, God. Actually, you know what? Before we even get into that, you sent this earlier. This is very important. Does anyone even care that the U.S. national debt will soon cross the $30 trillion mark?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest. Okay. That now that we're being run by a mob, you're going to see that thing go absolutely haywire crazy.
Yep.
It's going to get bad.
And when you keep demanding that the half the country stay locked down, pinning its economy into submission for an extended period of time when the science doesn't support it, it definitely doesn't support the economy to do so. I mean, this is only going to get worse, and it's going to accelerate.
Yep. You're absolutely correct. And here's another thing they don't seem to realize. 40% of our money supply has been printed in the past year.
That's insane. That is sheer insanity.
Yeah. And you know what? Now that and like the Democrats want to give away free shit, they're gonna give away forgive the student loans. They're gonna probably do this reparations baloney, and it's just gonna add on to the national debt till it can no longer be serviced. And then you're gonna have what I've always said we're gonna have is a huge bloodbath.
Yep. Inflation's going to go through the roof. You're going to get Venezuela Part 2. But it's going to be on a scale that could potentially and probably will cripple the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I envision nuclear warheads being exchanged in a limited capacity.
Yay. So you're saying we finally get to live out the Terminator. Outstanding.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I think we're going to see another nuclear warhead go off in anger. Where that'll be, I don't know, but my bones are telling me, my ESP is telling me it's going to happen.
Your ESP.
My ESP.
Yeah, well, you get feelings like that. That's when insurance companies start to go bankrupt. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's another thing that's taken place in a lot of these blue cities. Like their business districts are not getting insured anymore, or they're priced out of the market.
Yay! It was shit. Yeah, 30.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, and what is it? In Michigan alone, 32% of our small businesses are bye gone.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Yeah, it's clearly working so far, right?
Well, listen, the left is going to keep doing what they're doing until, we replace ballots with bullets. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Well, speaking of ballots, that brings us to the main point of the night. But before we get into the real crux of the matter, we have to actually show you how the media is covering it. And oh my. If we don't pass H.R. 1, we are fucked as a nation. It's a comprehensive reform bill for our democracy designed to fix many of the most corrupting features of the system. You mean the one that totally fairly and completely above board elected our current sitting president? Just asking
It's
for a
totally
friend.
fair.
Totally fair. Yeah, that was Esquire. And then Vox. Oh, Vox.
Yeah, these are the ones I sent you.
Yes. They talk about, I mean, it's an 800-page bill, so there's a lot of shit to unpack here. We wouldn't be able to do a whole stream on it without people getting bored to tears. But you go through here, and of course, it's exclusively being pushed through with Democrat support. The guy who wrote it he's nothing but a dynastic politician. His daddy was in politics, so this dude has never known a day when he didn't have a silver spoon in his mouth. So if people actually believe that he has their best interests at heart and not his corporatist crony pals, give me some of what you're smoking, because it's obviously good shit.
Absolutely correct. So, I mean, in a nutshell, what they want to do is legally rig all of the elections moving forward.
Yep.
And there's actually parts of this bill you're not even allowed to question if people were legally allowed to vote.
Yep. And we're going to dive into that because it's it's nuts. But the thing that really surprised me is that the GOP actually stood their ground on this one. And one Democrat actually defected. Representative Benny Thompson from Mississippi, he voted against it. And he said, my constituents oppose the redistricting portion of the bill as well as the section on public finances. I always listen and vote in the interest of my constituents. So he must be the only Democrat who does.
I don't know.
Unless you're living in brainwashed California, Stan.
Did you? I was watching Tim Pool, and he was covering there's a lot of counties in Washington, Oregon, and California that no longer wish to be part of their state.
You know what? God bless him.
Well, when you stepped off to, drain the weasel, I talked about a lot of the blue states are simply blue because of the major cities that they contain. The minute you leave those cities, that's conservative land. They're all red.
Yeah.
When you look at the voting districts in Michigan, was it 80% of it's red? So when all this craziness comes to pass, a lot of those counties are gonna be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No.
Make us do it.
F off.
That's just my opinion. The way I envision it, happening. But what do I know?
Yeah. Obviously, any of the the left-wing media rags, they're not going to cover the actual truth of what's in the bill. They're going to focus on a lot of the language, and this is linguistic propaganda to a T. So I will encourage you all to go ahead and look it up. We have the complete bill right here. It's 800 pages, so we're just going to have to hit on the highlights, but just some of the section titles and different sections within the parts are enough to make you sick. Part 1, promoting internet registration. Never mind the fact that voting machines are not even legally supposed to be connected to the internet, let alone registering on the internet. It's not like that, is a system that's constantly vulnerable to attack.
Yes. In the old days, you wanted to vote, you went down to your city, county building, presented yourself, showed your identification. They gave you a voter registration card, and there you go. They gave you the district you could vote in. They've shortened that down to the Department of Veteran Affairs, the DMV when you get your driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
They register you at the same time. But I really don't understand why you can't show up in person, present identification. Like, I'm a real human being. Here I am in the flesh. I want to vote. This is my information. Let's make it happen. If you're doing that on the internet, anybody and their mother can you can have 18 different people, everyone, registering to vote 4 or 5 times with slightly different names. and just flood the ballot box like they did in the last stunning and brave election.
Yeah. I mean, how many times a year do we hear stories about gigantic corporations with more than sufficient resources, firewalls, internet security, what have you, to protect themselves from this stuff? How many times do we hear about data breaches, data leaks, people getting their identity stolen?
Ransomware.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that's a big one. These fuckers get in there and get into your system, and they stay there for a long time, and they figure out exactly what they can do, and then they input their shit, and if you don't give them the password, it just deletes all your shit or encrypts it to the point you can never use it.
Yeah.
Talk about
Assholes. And here's a really funny thing too, is that people actually, do they expect this to work just because it's the government doing it? I mean,
how many times did the government get involved in shit and it actually was better?
Yeah, and the Obamacare website is about a decade old. The fucking thing still doesn't work.
Yeah.
My Lanta.
They can't ever get that thing going. That's insane. But yeah, I mean, this is just an end round, thing the Democrats are doing to. What are you doing?
Adjusting my camera. Is that okay with you?
Oh, I don't know what you're doing.
You're going to call attention to something that I'm doing off screen?
Sorry, man. Sorry. But, yeah, they're just doing a workaround here. And they just want to basically turn half the country into nothing but slaves. If you don't have a voice in your government, they can do whatever they want. You're a slave.
Yeah, between your vote not counting and a $15 an hour minimum wage and amnesty to all illegals after 8 years, what's the point?
Yeah.
What does citizenship actually get you?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
There's no upside to it anymore. This country is finished. We're going to keep on going here. Part 2, this one ought to scare the shit out of you. Automatic voter registration. So you can opt out, but you are automatically put in. And I'm sure that somewhere in there it's going to say something about you don't even have to be a citizen as long as you pay taxes. How much you want to bet?
Well, they're already letting minors vote.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep, that was another one. It's coming up down farther down the list here. Here's an interesting one that I'm sure will never backfire in a million years. Same-day voter registration. So, what, you're going to register the same day that you go and vote?
Or you show up to vote and they register you on the spot? How are they going to verify who you are?
Anyone out there who has not been following what Steven Crowder has uncovered with, in Nevada with hundreds of invalid votes and addresses that don't exist, you got to watch that. It'll scare the shit out of you. It's just more proof of everybody who watches this show. We already know this stuff, but send it to your skeptical pals. Make believers out of them.
That's right.
It's all publicly available information.
It is. And you know what? And we're so fucked. Yeah. I mean, it's just this is a slow motion train wreck. You can see the locomotive skidding along on the tracks, trying to stop, but it's not going to make it. It's going over the cliff. It's going to be ugly.
Part 3, that was that one. Part 4, conditions on removal on basis of interstate cross-checks. Well, given that we now know that in Nevada, after Crowder's first initial broadcast, when he explained that he had discovered a fake address for someone who used to be a Clinton staffer, and then that night, after the broadcast that revealed this was true, they changed it during a date and time when it's actually illegal for them to change it.
Yep.
And then, tried to double back and circle back Sally with him over the phone.
How the hell's that? Yeah. And then I watched one where he actually called him and was talking about it, and the dude was just talking in circles.
He had nothing, man. Like, that dude was talking in so many circles, he could be the next White House press secretary. He had no idea what the hell was going on.
That was correct. It was, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, what good is it now? I mean, it's too late. The Supreme Court didn't honor the challenges. Didn't even look at the evidence. All right. I mean, in my opinion, the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branches across this country are traitors to the core.
Ugh.
They sold us out.
I'm going to call this out really quick here in the chat. J.H. Choi, some comments are being blocked. That is true. Google's algorithm is now real-time monitoring all chats. Pulse Kebab tried to issue me a homo suspicion point the other night and had his comment blocked. He had to send it through Streamlabs. So if you guys want to comment in a super chat or comment in a regular chat that will not block your speech, go to migtow.tv at Redonkulous Pop, and you guys can comment there. Winning. Or you can go on Twitch. As long as you don't call us a simp, I think we might be okay.
Or you can call them a slimp.
A slimp.
Slimp.
Sad, low life, idolizing, mediocre poon. It's just so satisfying when these acronyms catch on, right? What do we got here? Part 5. Other initiatives to promote voter registration. Now, this ought to be good. One of them right down here. Grants to states for activities to encourage involvement of minors in election activities. Yeah, and then you go down here to Part 10, voter registration of minors. Acceptance of voter registration applications from individuals under 18. Now you know why they're trying to say that 4-year-old kids can choose their gender. Because this was coming down the pipe.
Yep.
And they know that little kids are, well, we're all stupid when we're younger. And most of us are pretty blue-pilled when we're younger. So they know that they've got that vote in a tight lock. And you're talking about a sizable chunk of the population.
It's sad. I mean, when I look at that whole thing, I see mob rule. And that no government survives that.
Shit, man, when I was a teenager, I wouldn't have trusted me with a pack of gum walking down the street, let alone voting and having an opinion that could affect public policy.
That's insane.
Damn. Let me see here. Oh, this ought to be good. I'm not sure what HAVA is, but we have Part 7, prohibiting interference with voter registration. Prohibiting, hindering, interfering with, or preventing voter registration. I'm not sure anybody really does that. But again, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts there's something in there about undocumented, stunning, and brave immigrants.
That's been like a selling point for the Democrats for years about, their voter registration laws are discriminatory just because you need to provide identification.
Yeah. But this is an interesting one here, just while we're on that subject. Because you go down here, requiring applicants for motor vehicles, driver's licenses in a new state to indicate whether the state serves as residence for voter registration purposes. It almost sounds like enough Greek salad to where this person who wrote this bill wants people to believe that voter ID or something like that is required. But it's just specifically requiring applicants for motor vehicle driver's licenses in a new state to indicate whether the state serves as a residence for voter registration purposes. That is a lot of bullshit to process in one sentence. So this is only if you move? You only have to provide a license if you move?
I don't know. I mean, how many pages? It's 800 pages.
800 pages.
800 fucking pages.
Yeah, because everybody's got time to read that.
Well, we got to pass it so you know what it says.
Yeah, we have to
It's
pass
like
it so that you can
Obamacare.
find out. Yeah, we have to pass the bill so you can find out what is in it. What? Okay. How does it? I mean, that's like a parent who thinks their kid is stupid. You know, that they walk into the kitchen, something smells like shit. I don't want to eat that. Well, you have to eat it to find out what's in it. You can't just tell me? I'm putting my life on the line here, man. This smells like dark garbage. I want this. So, of course, you know, when the House did pass this, they passed it in the wee hours of the night when no one was looking. Shocker.
Well, somebody was looking, but the media didn't care.
Yeah.
So nobody heard about it.
Ooh, interesting. Providing voter registration information to secondary school students. Why?
Yeah. Why?
I mean, if we're not going to teach them civics, they're not going to know what the hell to do with it in the first place. They're just going to go with what they see on Occupy Democrats. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a subtitle B under access to voting for individuals with disabilities. Oh, so stunning and brave. We're reaching out to the cripples.
Prohibiting voter caging.
So this one was interesting because you and I talked about this beforehand. Voter caging. And this is the one that should really scare the ever-loving crap out of people. Voter caging. I'm going to go over here to, I'm just going to read it right out of the description over here on DuckDuckGo. Voter caging involves challenging the registration status of voters and calling into question the legality of allowing them to vote. So you are no longer allowed to question whether or not a vote was legal. So essentially, if this were to get passed, Steven Crowder's series exposing all of the corruption around the stunning and brave November 6th ice cream social could technically be considered illegal on a federal level to the point where his YouTube channel very well may disappear. It's a really great way to convince people that you're completely on the level and you're absolutely right about everything.
You can't challenge anything.
Yeah, you
ever.
can't challenge it. You have to mercilessly silence and censor anyone with a differing opinion. Yeah, that really makes us trust you.
Yeah. Like I said, this is mob rule here. That's exactly what they're saying.
This one is my personal favorite. You're going to love this. Subtitle D in the voter registration of minors section, prohibiting deceptive practices and preventing voter intimidation. Well, bye-bye Democrats. I think you're all over. I mean, how many instances of voter intimidation did we see just at the last election?
Well, in Detroit, when they put up the boards and they were, carrying people out and throwing them on their ass when they were supposed to be there by law, it happened all the time.
Yep. I mean, not that we've ever seen anything like that happen recently, right? I mean, I couldn't, in a matter of seconds, bring up this article. BLM protesters enter LA polling station and intimidate voters. Yeah, that would never happen. Yeah. The left doesn't do stuff like that. They're all about tolerance and inclusivity, as long as you think exactly like they do.
Yep.
Fail. Get bent. I know there's deceptive practices. You mean like mail-in voting? I mean, how many prominent Democrats voiced their concerns about mail-in voting for years, only to completely flip their script on a dime when EIU hit?
As soon as the EIU hit, and they knew that they could capitalize on this.
Yeah. Oh, here's more of this linguistic propaganda. Subtitle E, Democracy Restoration. What? What?
Restoration.
Of what?
Listen, man, we are a representative republic. We are not a democracy. A true democracy is mob rule, and that's what they want.
Ugh.
And this is just a 800 pages of legalese mumbo jumbo to make that happen.
It's astonishing. Oh, this is interesting here. Well, let's take a look here and see what this is here. Subtitle F, promoting accuracy, integrity, and security through voter-verified permanent paper ballot. What does that mean, permanent paper ballot? Well, all the ballots are printed on paper.
Oh, they're not going to use computers anymore?
I'm just saying. It's kind of a weird thing to put in here. Considering virtually every ballot is, obviously these things can't be hooked up to the internet.
This is what they did: is you fill out your little your ballot, they scan it, and then they go with the numbers that are scanned in, and they can be manipulated however they want. I mean, I hypothetically saw some of the transmissions between a voting machine in Germany.
Allegedly.
But I mean. In my personal opinion, if I was running the show, you would have to show up. They'd give you a ballot. You initial who you want in a box. You sign it at the bottom, and you leave a fingerprint, preferably in your own blood. I'm serious. They have a little thing. It's like a little pinprick.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you have your actual fingerprint, your signature. You showed up, you voiced, you put your vote down, and then you keep that. It doesn't get scanned into shit. And then they're counted manually by, the way it's supposed to be done with an observer from each party and so forth. And you keep that shit on file for like 10 years after the fact at a minimum. Nothing gets shredded in the middle of the night like they did at the last Sting and Brave election.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Here's another good one here. Findings related to District of Columbia statehood. The Democrats have been pushing this for years. It's completely unconstitutional. The reason the District of Columbia is zoned the way that it is because you have to have a union capital that is exempt from that stuff. Otherwise, it could become, subject to the influence, positive or otherwise, than it already is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bad news bears. But it goes on. It goes on here all the time. Oh, here's another one here. I can't imagine this one backfiring. Saving eligible voters from voter purging.
Oh, yeah. That's great. There's already how many million dead people on the rolls?
Yeah, just a little bit. So we're gonna want to keep more dead people on there. You're gonna want to put kids on there because kids are totally with it. They know what's going on.
Correct.
Not too busy picking their nose or jacking off or anything. I'm just saying.
All right. Let's finish up the super chats. I think we've been whipping this. This is very disheartening for me.
It is.
Because, I mean, I knew this was going to happen as soon as I woke up on the morning after the Sting and Brave election and I saw what I saw.
Oh, agreed.
I knew, this is going to continue on until enough people are affected negatively where it blows up in their face.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not there yet. We don't have a lot of people starving. There's an hyperinflation. Nothing.
Not
people
yet.
are hoping that, I hope this goes back to a mediocre state. Yeah. We'll see.
Gas prices haven't risen $1 a gallon or anything. See, that's just the beginning of what gets people to pay attention. When you can't afford to feed your family, then maybe you'll actually see what's going on.
Yep.
But
unfortunately, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah. Gateway Pundit puts it the best. House passes sweeping bill making it easier for Democrats to steal elections. And this is one of the big ones here that we didn't really get to. They're talking about rezoning areas for voting. Now, this all sounds well and good because this does happen every few years like clockwork anyway, according to census data. But if you suddenly take, the take that and put it in the hands of people who are not accountable to the system. And they suddenly have to rezone things according to a different metric. You could wind up with really heavily blue areas that have a huge chunk of population. Suddenly, a sizable chunk of that population is rezoned and with a red area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because you have to do that to make it fair, right? Because this area here has such a large population, so we need to make sure that their vote isn't counting more than yours. So we're going to rezone this area that is full of Bernie Sanders knob-slobbing lunatics, and we're going to lump them in with all of these surrounding red areas. Oh, look at that. They all flipped blue in the next election. Oh, couldn't have seen that one coming.
Yeah, whoa. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Every election after this past one is going to be rigged.
Yeah, it's over. The Republic is over.
It's over. Yeah. It's going to turn into a dictator, and you're going to see all kinds of tyranny and craziness. That's what's going to happen. And I hate to be that guy that being all negative, but that's just what I see.
Don't be negative, Bob.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Alex Patino donated $5. In '08, we had this NCO, I'll call him Sergeant J. Went home on R&R from Iraq, and then he came back onto deployment with new last name. From Sergeant J, he became Sergeant P. So we asked him why he changed his name and found out that he took his wife's last name, which was her ex.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
What a slimp.
Wow.
Oh, my God. What's his testosterone negative levels?
Oh, wow. Talk about a man in name only.
Holy shit. He got it by default there, man.
Oh. Wow.
Wow. I think I could have sworn I heard it all.
I know, right?
Wow.
Now I've seen everything.
Holy shit.
Damn. Arrow Shogun. Everyone is dying of Kung Flu, yeah, but nobody's dying of other respiratory diseases? NPCs say that's because everyone is wearing masks. Then I ask, why is coronavirus still prevalent? By the way, worth it or not to own an ATF Form 1 weapons under anti-gun Biden?
Interesting.
What do you think?
I don't know, man.
You don't know? You don't know if it's worth it to own that kind of a weapon under Biden?
You're talking about
Form 1 weapons, you said.
What did you say? What kind of
Worth it or not to own ATF Form 1 weapons under anti-gun Biden?
Well, he's probably talking about automatic weapons, and those are crazy expensive.
Ugh.
And the tax stamp to pay for them and the ammo feeding those things is monumentally expensive. And yeah, and to be honest with you, you're going to be on a shorter list if you have one of those. So I would say no.
All right. Moving on to the next one here. Tracy Wilborn, welcome back, sir. Need to make sure that I say that because apparently I've called you a chick once too often. I'm too old, fat, and way too blind for the fight that's to come. Getting ready to retire and move to the free state of Texas. Can't wait to escape the land of entrapment. Here's a little something for the booze fund.
Well, you got the fighters, you have the supporters, and you have the hiders.
True.
That's when anything happens. That's the three groups that you have. All right, and the hiders, they can or cannot be talkers, but they're not actors. They don't do shit. Just saying.
Just saying. What do we got here? Next one here. Atheist. Work made me late for the stream. Did you get my email? Did Pop enjoy the pics? Oh, what pics? You sending Pop your sausage pics?
No, he sent some straw pics.
Straw pics? Oh, nice. Drinking straw pics?
I'm not forwarding those to you. I'm not doing it.
Weak.
You're an asshole.
You're weak.
Why would I want you to stop it? Why would want to fuck with me all the time, man. Come on.
It's what I do.
Jesus.
It's what I do. This is why I'm here.
All right. What's the next one?
Tracy Wilborn donated another $5. Just turned on one of my nephews to you, Pop. He served at drum at the same time as you. He just got married, and I hope that he takes your words to heart. Poor guy.
First of all, Fort Drum is a shithole. 10th Mountain, good unit. I feel sorry that they're there. I was fortunate, and I worked out of Utica, New York. I was an ops guy for Civil Affairs Battalion, and I only had to go to drum every now and again to, get shots, talk to the doctors, and, coordinate with their range control and stuff. But it is what it is. My heart goes out to anyone that actually lived there, because that place sucked.
Jason Long, just for reference, no, I did not ask Pop to forward me the straw picks. He said that he would not forward the straw picks to me. And I said, why not? Because I love fucking with him. That is my job. That is what I do. I know the tech stuff. I make all of this happen, and I get to mess with the brain-damaged army grunt.
Yep.
That is my perk. And I get to do impressions for you guys. Inquisitor Jack 45. Pop, I hope you're doing well. Dropped you an email about Maryland. A care package is on its way. Hope you enjoy. Weakness invites aggression, and Dems are baying for blood in the name of their god, the state. And they took that gold watch and shoved it up their ass.
I love that movie.
It's good stuff, but I agree. Yeah. Did you get that email about Maryland? If you did not, we'll make sure you check it out. Because usually you skim shit, and then if it's really important, you just forward it to me, and you ask me to handle it.
Or like all the preppers, I send to my personal email, and they're in their own file.
Nice. So. All right. What do we got here? Inquisitor Jack again did a bit of Dremel work. My Remington is 870 went from 4-round mag, now holds 10. Carbon fiber extension from Lancer. Not going to be able to vote our way out of it, and I'm hoping enough people get their heads out of their asses to matter.
Well, here's a thing that most people don't know. If you are training an army to partake in urban operations and you don't have a lot of time, you give them all 12-gauge shotguns, because you only have to point in the direction, and urban environment, you're pretty much on top of each other. So I have a feeling that a 12-gauge is going to become a very useful tool in the upcoming future. I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But, my ASP is telling me other things.
I love how you say that people in urban environments tend to be on top of each other. Well, that does tend to be how Democrats like it. And it doesn't matter what kind of equipment they have, because biological sex is a social construct.
It's 127 different genders. It's such bullshit.
I mean, when are we going to stop mixing up gender with gender expression? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Damn it.
First of all, a lot of the gender expression, in my opinion, is insanity. So.
Yes. Somebody's asking me to do a Bender impression. Unfortunately, I haven't watched enough Futurama to really internalize that voice. I apologize. But I'll do a little Hank Hill here for you. Bulltown Films donated $20 Canadian. Hello from Canada. Have a drink on me. Also, keep your freedoms. Ours are being taken away. Don't tread on me.
Well, if enough of you guys decide stand up and say, fuck it, this is stupid, it would probably reverse itself pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm not completely convinced that they reelected Castro Demon Seed, because it just doesn't make any sense, considering that how fresh that was on the heels of something that would have gotten any Democrat in this country unelected. So, I don't know. Or maybe they're just flaming fucking hypocrites like we all know they are. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely off base. Because when it comes to morals or having any kind of principles, you don't go to the Democrats for that. No. You really don't. You're wasting your time. Oh, gosh. Facebook employee $4.99. Will there be a series of videos like one on Christmas reading Shades of Grey? We need a special Read with Popp program where he cosplays for fun. Yeah, good luck getting him to play dress up. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. I'll read more of that stuff, but I'm not putting on nothing. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not putting on nothing.
I've tried. I'm just gonna let you guys right know. I have tried. You're not gonna wear a costume or something? Oh, I'm not gonna do that. You won't do a military cadence for people? No, men don't sing. What?
I'm sorry. That's just the way it is, man. I don't even sing in church. Sorry.
I mean, like, I would offer up some great singers of the past, but I would basically shoot my own argument in the foot if I mentioned people like Freddie Mercury or Elton John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, apparently we're getting a bunch of arguments about gender and gender fluid bullshit.
What else is new?
Sorry.
For schmexual orientations. Yes, I would. And Mike Smith, I would say that I'm in agreement with you, sir. What do we got here? Oh, Jaffo on the bound again. But, back to that last one here really quick. If there was another reading episode, what would is there another thing that even comes to mind? I mean, 50 Shades of Grey we talked about doing for almost 10 years before we finally knocked that one out. Let it never be said that we procrastinate.
Yeah. I should probably do that a little more quick.
You just run by a dollar store and grab one of those Harlequin romance novels where everybody's nipples are hard on the cover and just read one of those. He unsheathed his massive quake maker and shoved it deep into my throbbing orifice of pleasure and lust.
Holy shit. It's just nasty, bro.
I mean, most of those romance novels are just 48 different euphemisms for male genitalia with, descriptions of the wind blowing through curtains and shit.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even know these things except for the fact that while my sister was living with me, who was blind as a fucking bat, by the way, she would walk around with a tablet like this size, and she would have the text to where, each line took up about a third of the screen, and she's standing outside my back door, smoking a cigarette, just looking at this fucking thing, and I can read every word on it, and I'm like, God! That's disgusting!
Hey, I don't like your sister anyways.
No
I just don't. I can't stand her. I can't stand her at all.
But I do think we should do more reading with Popp, because that is one that actually had a pretty wide range of appeal. A lot of people were sharing that one around. So we can make that one a series for you.
I remember when your sister was living in your basement, and she was in her little behind her curtain thing. I didn't know she was there, and I was talking to you, and she's answering what I'm saying.
You're asking me questions,
and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then she comes out, and I'm like, oh, there you go.
No, it's not the Wizard of Oz, that's for fucking sure.
Winner, chicken dinner, OPAF at its best.
Jaffo on the bound again. Okay, Blake, you can fall on that grenade. There's a reason why I popped smoke and exit. The LZ. Good job, Blake. Get the email list out before we all go dark. That sounds racist monkey. But yes, email list is a good idea. And if you go to redonkulous.com, we are a Wix premium site, so you can actually become a member of the site and get notifications every time we post a video. So do that. It's free, costs you nothing.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Ascension, Popp, why do people put light bulbs in their butt? Me? I don't know, Popp, but I think we can both agree that he has a thing for crappy ideas. Outstanding.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Bill Horvath, how do I find my lost guns in Lake Superior? I don't know, man. Lake Superior is so damn cold, even dead bodies sink to the bottom.
Get a strong magnet.
A strong magnet. Everybody's
People
losing their
surprised me
guns up
finding
in Lake
that shit.
Superior, man. That lake is larger than the Carolinas. Well, one of them. I think it's larger than South Carolina. It's a big-ass lake. And it is so
Yeah.
cold that dead bodies don't even float to the surface.
Yeah, it
Not that I
is
would know or
actually
anything.
a freshwater sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damon Wolf MGTOW in the voice of Foghorn Leghorn talking about, boy, I said, you got more screws loose than a hardware store in an earthquake. I like that one. That was good. That was my first attempt at a Foghorn Leghorn. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll do a little pinky in the brain for you. James Rankin, $5. Has Terence Popp ever heard of David Icke and his opinion of otherworldly entities orchestrating the New World Order's takeover? Noff.
Actually, I have not heard about that other than the fact that I didn't know that about that particular individual. Though in my upcoming novels, I allude to that there's forces of darkness that are pulling the strings from beyond the veil.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Back tabled with a $50 donation. Thank you very much. Ooh, excuse me. Black Magic. Biden putting kids in cages in shipping containers to make it more efficient to get them into his pedo donors on both sides of the aisle. Sniff. Oh. Yeah. Now remember one, Pablo. Monsieur Biden likes his children wrapped in aluminum foil to seal in the flavor and the stench. Not that they would ever use, illegal immigrant labor for that or anything. I'm just saying. Allegedly. Back tabled again. What comes easy won't last, and what lasts won't come easy. Pop, did you know Colonel Danny McKnight?
McKnight, no.
McKnight, yeah.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what that was back there. Ascension! $5 donation. How do you know if you have a high soldier count when your girlfriend has to chew before she swallows? Did you guys miss me? That's a classic one right there. I always like that one. L Snows, 556. Blake, did you oil your action while playing with a 24-inch barrel on the K Cruise?
Wow.
No. I was too busy using that on other people. No comment.
It's just nasty, man.
It's just nasty. 24-inch barrel. Couldn't even imagine. Wouldn't even want to. I mean, there's a big difference between getting plowed and getting impaled. I'm just saying. Big Country, $5. If you had the means to spend suppressed Barrett, semi-auto 50, or several smaller arms.
Okay. Well, the 50 cal is a heavy weapon, and each round costs like $5 now. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Plus, they're hard to reload, and they take an assload of powder. It's a toss-up, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the 50 BMG rifle will definitely come into play in the future, especially when they start pulling out tank-driven drones to wipe people out. You know, you need a big rifle like that to stop them. But for $6,500 it costs to get your hands on the rifle, and $3,000 in optics. That's like 10 G's. It's 10 really good sniper rifles in a 30 caliber or a 6.5 Creedmoor, and you can do a lot more damage if you spread it out more than just one. So I would go with the cheaper units.
Well, that is how you gauge all of your monetary spending, is on how much it would cost for a gun.
Yeah, or pizza.
Yeah. Pizza's good, especially if it's Green Lantern pizza.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, Deep Purple, 1987. I used to watch prepper videos 10 years ago talking about being prepared for a collapse, but I didn't feel it to be imminent. But now I'm nervous.
You should be, because the zombies are going to come out to play.
Zombies. Dynaside 13 again. Just got my back fixed. Haven't been able to work out in a year due to the pain. Where should I start rebuilding myself? Basically from scratch.
Okay. If you are living in pain, you have to deal with the pain. Otherwise, you won't be able to do anything. But if you can get beyond the pain, you start building from the legs up.
Legs
That's the best
up.
way to do it. Yeah.
You heard it from the man. Edwin Sparks. Pop, glad to see you guys carrying on. Between confirmed fraudulent voters, voting law changes, and information control from corporations, how likely do you think a legitimate election is in 2024?
Oh, let's see. As a betting man, I wouldn't bet on it.
Nah. No. Neither would I. It's stuck between a cock and a hard place here. Il Snows, $2. Try Leopold Brothers Applewood Whiskey from Denver. Leopold Brothers Applewood Whiskey. I'm going to write that down.
I will definitely try it. I love new stuff.
Leopold
I
Brothers
love to
Applewood.
drink. I love to drink.
I love to drink. So I got like 2 bottles of whiskey I got to buy before we go back. Let's see here. Edwin Sparks. Here, you guys. You might like this image, and the chat might as well. Just use this code with Imager. It won't let me post the links. All right. I'm interested. Let's see. Oh, I gotta add a backslash here, /, what have you. Oh, here we go. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Notice how all the men's toes point outward when they stand, and all the females' feet are parallel with each other.
Okay.
Not sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't really see the
the thing is,
am I off? Or?
I see. I mean, the thing is, most men overcronate with their feet because they have bigger muscles in their thighs and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes.
It's all good. All right, we got here Blister Bill, $9.99. Buy yourselves some silly straws, you twisted bastages. Grunts rule.
Yeah, we do. You know, when shit hits the fan, you know, you want to have a grunt on your side.
Yes.
They've been there before and they know what they're doing.
Amen. And a woman. Bill Horvat with a donation. Thank you, sir. Stephen Kent, the great American crash is inevitable. It's hard. We hit the wall. So, to those who can't find guns, I suggest a crossbow. Not as good as a firearm, but it's better than throwing rocks.
Well, a crossbow definitely will fuck you up, bro. I mean,
yeah,
that'll go right through you before you even know you're hit.
Yeah. Damn dogs barking in the house, man. James Rankin, $2.
Yeah, what?
What? Go ahead.
They used to use crossbows in Vietnam to take out sentries.
Nice.
Just saying.
I like it. James Rankin, opinion on ATN thermal scopes.
I like ATM. I like the company ATM, and I do like the thermal scope packages that they have. But you need to get the ones that are able to identify a human target or whatever, or identify a target roughly 500 meters. Or, you know, because anything less than that, they're already on top of you, and you can just use a standard night vision. But A10 does make some good products.
Cool. Moving on to the next one here. Dun, dun, dun. Irish Lover 7745 again. I love to put my skills to work as scout sniper with 26 years service to your prepper group, Pop. I was also I was demoted from my master's gunny sergeant for conduct unbecoming.
Wow. Did you punch somebody? I've seen that before.
Did you ever punch anybody?
Yes, I did.
Who'd you hit?
I punched some people.
Who'd you hit?
Well, I punched a captain. Not one that was in my unit, but another captain who was being a really fucking dickhead. And I had to go stand before the colonel. And he asked me what happened, and I said, the captain's being a dick. He looks over and goes, don't do that again.
All right, now I finally get the joke in the picture here. Let's look at it again.
Okay.
All the men's toes point outward. What's wrong with this picture?
Are you talking about the trans woman?
That is the stunning and brave Assistant Health Secretary right there.
Yeah. The one at the end with the long blonde hair?
Yes.
That's a dude?
Yes.
And you can tell by the way her feet are.
Yes.
His,
shims, manual transmission.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Like I said, they have bigger muscles in their legs. They overcronate if they're men.
Yep.
Just saying.
That's how we go. That's why we man spread as well, because we have these things called testicles. And if you sit like this, it doesn't feel the most comfortable. Just saying. Riggs Jr. again. All this happening has me nervous to do anything like get a new car or a house or plan anything except camping equipment.
Land.
Get yourself some land.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Did you put a down payment on that?
I did.
Outstanding.
But if worse comes to worse and nothing happens, you still have land.
Irish Lover 775 again, voting like it's done in Taiwan. Look it up. Yeah, Taiwan. Any country that China refuses to recognize as a sovereign nation, at least they have that going for them. Facebook employee, what is Popp watching above the screen? Something interesting? He's actually looking at the stream so that he can see the graphics.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, because we are about 1,200 miles apart right now. So, James Rankin, Popp drinking Neapolitan ice cream with a drinking straw out of a Pringles can.
God damn it. You guys are disgusting.
You made him refill his shot glass. That one must have hit close to home. Oh, hey, you're going to love this, Popp. Pat Wax Daddy. The artist formerly known as Goat Belly asks that Blake cheers everyone up talking dirty in a Sean Connery voice. Yes, I'll read the next few as Sean Connery for you. Edwin Sparks, $5. Get Popp to read Starship Troopers. Good novel about the Brotherhood of Service. You ever read Starship Troopers?
I saw the movie, and then I read the book. And I was like, the movie was nothing like the book, but a bunch of bullshit. The book was great.
Yeah, the movie you can tell is definitely from the director of RoboCop. It's very much in the same sort of style. It's its own animal, that's for sure.
I ripped it apart when they all landed on the bug world, and they all just run out willy-nilly. There's no security, no crew serve weapons. And I'm like, they're going to get fucking smoked.
And that's exactly what happens.
I sound like, I told you.
I love how, like Michael Ironside shows up later and he's on and he's like, we have a new battle plan. After Fleet glasses the planet, then MI mops up. I'm like, why wasn't that the plan in the fucking first place?
That's insane.
What the shit, bro? Edwin Sparks. Thank you for that comment, Facebook employee. Stewie, Popstar reading 50 Shades is like Biden massaging your shoulders. Either way, you feel violated. It's a true story. But it was entertaining as fuck, and I want to do that again.
Violated reading it.
Well, you had 5 to 6 pages of not even foreplay. It was 6 or 7 play by that point.
I know, it's crazy.
7 pages of foreplay for 2 paragraphs of action.
Yeah.
Women. And just think that was Twilight fan fiction. That's where that whole thing started. Damon Wolf MGTOW. There was a man with long hair and a dress in that pic. Correct. Thank you very much. Jimmy Bones. How about a Peggy impression? If you guys like the skull shot glass that I had, I still got 2 in the box, and I'd be happy to send it to you, but no, only if Evil Popp is the one drinking out of it. Drinking straw not included. Well, that's a shame. Well, then the deal's off.
I'll send it, bro.
I'll take one of those. If you got 2 in the box, kind of like Popp's ex-wife, I'll take it.
Dude, allegedly.
Allegedly. And that was only at the same time that one time at band camp.
What are you talking about? The over-under treatment?
The over-under treatment, yeah.
Allegedly.
Or spit roasting,
You're gonna
perhaps.
get me sued, man. You're gonna get me sued.
I'm not going to get you sued. We're not saying her name. We're okay.
Allegedly.
Oh, we're going off in the weeds, but it's a good time. It's good times. More cock. Arrow Shogun. To clarify, I have a PPS 43 parts kit chambered in 762X25 that was demilled via torch. In order to rebuild it as is, even in a semi-auto form requires ATF Form 1 approval. It would be considered an SBR, but it's nothing crazy like a 20mm rifle.
I know what you're talking about. The 7.62 by 25 is a pretty decent round, and the Soviets used that submachine gun to throw a bazillion bullets at their targets while running, and they're really good at it.
Excellent.
But can you get it done? Yeah, you can do it. You just buy a barrel, you put it in there, and if it's semi-automatic, yeah, you might be able to, you might not get in any trouble if you don't get caught.
If you don't get caught. And if
you
you
do
do
stupid shit with it.
If you do, you just lose it in the middle of Lake Superior. It's all good.
Yeah.
Speaking of Starship Troopers, do you agree with the idea that only people who have served in the military deserve to vote?
100%.
That's how it used to be, right? You either had to own land or serve in the military in order to vote.
I don't know how it used to be. I mean, the way I see it now is you got to have skin in the game if you want to vote for this country.
Yeah.
So either you own land, you're a veteran, or you pay X amount in taxes. Now, if you receive government subsidies or you're getting handouts or welfare, WIC, what have you, you don't get to vote.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. You're just voting for more shit for yourself. And no, sorry.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Absolutely. I'm totally on board with that. And from what I understand, the average male citizen only had the right to vote for a few years before the suffragettes arrived on the scene. And once they got the right to vote, oh man, it was
they're voting for their own interests, which is they want to have equity, which is socialism.
Yeah, government spending went through the roof after that and has only gone up exponentially since then.
And why is that? Because women like to spend money on useless bullshit.
Bullshit.
Oh, I'm serious. I can just go on and on watching.
And
my mother is just horrible with money.
And it is like, whether people want to hear it or not, whether people want to admit it or not, this is the direct result of that shit. It took about 100 years for the chickens to come home to roost, but it's here.
Yep.
This is what you have right now, a republic that is basically flailing its limbs as it burns alive. This is what you get when you vote based on feelings instead of facts. And then you even elect people who say that, well, I think people put too much emphasis on being semantically, factually correct. It's more about being morally right. Like, are you kidding me right now? You can't be morally right if your entire premise is based in bullshit.
Yep.
It's not possible, I promise. So do yourself a favor, just go over to Thailand and get yourself a stunning and brave young woman. And make sure that you check to make sure she's not actually a young man. Because that does happen.
Yeah, it does.
But we have come to the end of our rope, not to be confused with the kind of extreme chiropractic that our stunning and brave Congress should really think about getting into here. So, Pop, how about a safety briefing to take us out?
All right. This is how it goes. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. If you have to fuck, wear a rubber. Take the rubber with you or flush it down the toilet. If you don't, you can wind up getting sperm jacked, and you have to pay for somebody for the rest of your life that you didn't intend to bring into this earth.
True story. And, dudes, don't forget, make sure that you keep your drugs and baking ingredients separate, because no one wants to be the asshat who mixes up the powdered sugar and then brings cocaine cookies to the school bake sale, and that's how a batch of cookies cooked at $3.75 will get you 5 to 10. Winning? No. Have a good night. We will be drinking with you again on Tuesday, 8 p.m., 7 Central, right here on YouTube, Twitch, MGTOW.tv, D-Live, and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. There are people actually watching it on there.
All right.
Yes, and if you are a Patreon or Subscribe Star member, let us know what you want us to cover. If there's any news stories or send any articles or applicable info to redonkulous12@gmail.com. Wrenches, do your thing.
Boom!